Yeah, pretty much. We're here with legendary Randy Couture. So, Randy, what brings you to a boxing gym, man?
Well, I know that Bernard Hopkins has a fight coming up with Winky Wright, and both of us being in our 40s and competing at a high level in a combative sport, I had the opportunity to come in and meet him and get a chance to know him a little bit. And I think for a mixed martial artist, boxing is a big part of what we do, and so it's an environment that I kind of want to come and experience, and maybe meet Freddie and some different people that potentially could help me down the road with my fighting.
So how's it be? How does the atmosphere compare to, say, normal MMA gyms?
Very, very similar. I have a gym here in Hollywood as well that's mixed martial arts oriented. One in Vegas. We've got a ring. We've got a cage. We do a lot of the same drills and a lot of the same things.
So let me get your perception. A lot of the media drums up the whole boxing versus MMA debate. What are your thoughts about that?
I think we're very, very similar. We're both combative sports. I think two things are happening. Some people are disenchanted with some of the boxing promoters and would like to see them do a better job of promoting the fighters and promoting the events and having them live up to the hype, so to speak. And I think mixed martial arts is constantly being measured against boxing for its success. It's used as a measuring stick, and that's created this adversarial kind of relationship, and I don't think it needs to be that way. I don't know a single mixed martial artist that doesn't love boxing, that isn't a fan of it, doesn't study it, doesn't want to learn to punch better, to be a boxer, and add that piece of it to their game. I'm a wrestler. That's the first thing I had to learn was boxing skills, and so I think we're educating more and more boxers about what we do as mixed martial artists, and I think you're starting to see that bridge and that gap build.
Yeah, it seems like striking has become prevalent, more and more prevalent in MMA events such as Pride, UFC, whereas and where now you have to be multifaceted, whereas before you took them to the ground, you could submit them easier.
I think that's absolutely true. Striking has come back to the forefront in mixed martial arts because guys have gotten better at staying out of submission holds. They've gotten better at scrambling and preventing takedowns. And now what are you left with? You're left with the striking event. And so, sharpening those tools, and the better my striking is, the more I can take advantage of my wrestling.
You recaptured the heavyweight crown. Were you, be honest, were you looking forward to a Crow Cop matchup with?
It really didn't matter to me. Obviously, from a marketing perspective, the Crow Cup fight would have been huge. But I don't get too caught up in who I'm going to fight or who they want me to fight. I've pretty much had the mentality all along. I'll fight whoever you put in front of me. And if it's Crow Cup, I actually think that's an easier fight than Gabriel Gonzaga. Gabriel's more well-rounded. He's got good submission skills. Obviously, he has some stand-up skills. So, I've got to be prepared.
So is it kind of an assumption to say you weren't surprised that Gonzaga beat Crow Cop?
I actually picked Gonzaga to beat Crow Cop. I was one of the few that thought Gonzaga would beat him. Didn't expect him to kick him in the head, but I did think he would beat him.
So now I guess it's set up to where now August 25th, correct?
August 25th.
You're going to face Gonzaga. What are your thoughts about that matchup?
It's a tough matchup. It's a good fight for me. I don't think he has the experience that I bring to a big championship fight, and that could be the difference. I think walking out in front of that crowd with a 5-round fight with all the media and everything, it's going to be a different thing for him. Mirko was really an anomaly for him. He's not usually that aggressive. He doesn't look as sharp as he looked in that fight for a lot of his other fights that I've studied. So it'll be interesting to see how he comes out against me. I know he's going to be throwing high kicks because he's going to be worried about getting put on his back and be dropping elbows and fists in his face on the ground. So
so if it goes on the ground, that's your territory.
Yeah, submission or not, I'm prepared to deal with his submission ability, and so I'm going to go out and get in his face, make him work, use some dirty boxing, clinch, use the fence, and try and wear him down and win round after round.
Well, your experience comes into play over him.
Absolutely.
You've been in the business probably just as long as anybody else. Is it satisfying to you to see mixed martial arts, more specifically UFC, come into fruition to where now it's largely considered a mainstream sport? The crowds are insane. The pay-per-view buys are through the roof. Everybody seems to be, MMA seems to be on the upswing. Whereas before, when you started out, it had its troubles. So are you satisfied to see the sport you love so much on the upswing?
Absolutely. I was very concerned when I started. I kind of came in on the start of the cable ban and Senator McCain's push to get the sport outlawed, and we thought the sport was going to die. And so for us to still be here now 10 years later and have it flourish the way it's flourishing, it's an absolute blast, and it's gone way beyond our wildest dreams. So it's fun time to be a mixed martial artist.
How much longer do you think you have left in the sport?
Take it one fight at a time. I'm physically very healthy. I'm just as fast and just as strong as I've ever been. So we'll take it, take it as it comes.
You're the Bernard Hopkins of MMA.
That's probably why I'm standing here today.
Any last thoughts for your fans?
Well, I appreciate all the support. I mean, retired or not, the fans have been great to me, and I really appreciate that.
They don't forget their legends. Thank you.